Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to give you all the little tips and tricks and all the bits I have learnt from going to Disneyland Paris over the years. There are quite a few and I started writing them down. I've had to bring my notes with me and it worked out I have, 20 things to tell you or help you. A lot of it you may know, but this is all from what I have gathered information wise. Now the first point, the travel there. You can fly, you can go by coach, you can go by Eurostar. I haven't flown, I haven't gone by coach. I went by Eurostar. I found this very expensive because obviously there's quite a few of us. It is fast. We get on at the last stop, so it took us an hour and 50 minutes. It stops at the park. I had a little bit of trouble luggage-wise because obviously I've got 4 daughters. So yeah, getting the luggage on and off the train, I was a little bit panicky. I thought I might forget a suitcase or forget Harriet because she does wander. So that was a little bit hectic. The last few times we have driven there, either my dad has driven or my uncle has driven, and I couldn't do the drive. I have no sense of direction, even with a sat-nav. So I'm very grateful that they've come with us. It's definitely cheaper. We normally hire a car because of how many of us there are. The last time we did the drive, I did it with my friend Kath, and she managed to do the drive from Calais right to Disney in 3 hours flat, there and back. So amazing. A little bit complicated to drive, I think, but she had a sat nav straight there, fabulous. So driving for me is the easy option because you can stop off if the kids need the loo or if they're hungry. I just find it a lot more relaxing. Number 2, actually booking your holiday. Now I booked with Disney the very first time I went because I didn't know any different. Everything went fine. I then found a company called Magic Breaks online. So I thought, okay, I'll book with them. I just seem to have booked with them every single time I've ever been. It's just, I don't know, it's just so easy with them. I've got quite a nice little friendship with a couple of them that work there. And they say, oh, did you hear about this deal? Did you hear about this deal? It's been great. You might want to go for a particular season, like Christmas or New Year's Eve. If you see a deal online with them and you think that's a good deal, that's when I want to go, book it. I have found that I booked a holiday and my dad a couple of weeks down the line said, oh, you know, we'll come, yeah, definitely book it. And the deal that we had got at that time had run out. And they said each hotel is given this deal for so many rooms. Once the rooms are booked, you can still stay at the hotel, but you do not get that deal. My dad ended up paying a lot more than what he could have if he'd have booked earlier. So if you see a deal, definitely book it. You can pay a deposit and you pay the rest. I think it's 12 weeks before the day that you go. They can book the train for you, which if they do, has to be booked and paid for straight away. That's if you do Eurostar. If you book Eurostar independently, be aware, I think now they don't go every day. I know there's one train a day, but the last time I looked, I think it was something like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, or don't take that as set in stone, but they don't actually go every day. So make sure that the days you want to go, there is actually a train, or just let them book it for you. Right, times to go. If you want to go, as I say, Christmas, New Year, Halloween. I've done Halloween twice. Absolutely brilliant. The first time we were still wearing shorts. We went, I think it was 2 years ago now, Halloween, and it was freezing. It rained every day, and I said, that's it. I'm not coming this time of year again. I still enjoyed myself, but it was quite draining being out in the rain all day, every day. There is a Halloween party, which is lovely. They do something special in each of the lands. But be aware, this isn't covered by your booking fee. The tickets are sold separately. I believe, again, don't take it as law, but I think I paid around 40 euros per person for the tickets the last time I went. The best time I feel to go is in the spring. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. You've got all the beautiful flowers and the topiaries are out. I love going there in spring. I've done my birthday there, which is in April. This year we're going towards the end of May. I just love it at that time of year. We've been in August, 2 or is it 3 times, something like that. A couple of times it was so hot we could not carry on walking around the park. Not only were we tired, but boiling. And we ended up going back to the hotel because it was just too hot. That was sort of between lunchtime, mid-afternoon. It was, and the children just kept moaning because they were too hot. So be aware, if you're not a heat person, do not go in August. But spring is good, and September, if you don't mind like working it around school times, September is really lovely there. Okay, the hotels. I can only comment on the ones that I have stayed in. I've stayed in Davy Crockett Ranch, which I just love. It's so nice. My dad and my uncle, they both love going there because they love Disneyland. And I know you do. If you're watching, I know you do. You say you don't, but you do. But they do like a bit of time out. And it is quite nice to come out of the busyness of the park, and it's so beautiful there, and you've got all the woods and the nature. It's just lovely there. So if you do like a little bit of time out, this is perfect. But you do need a car because it's outside the park. The cabins there have always been very clean, very comfortable. One of the rooms is a double room. The room at the other end of the cabin, there is 3 single beds, and if you look underneath the bed on the right, normally is on the right, there is another pull-out bed that pops up, and there's bedding in the wardrobe. There is a restaurant on site. There is a pool on site, which I believe is actually the best pool out of all the hotels anyway. I think it's great, that pool. You've got a shop there that sells merchandise, but because the cabins are self-catering, you can get sort of milk, bread, and there's not tons there, but there's bits there to get you through, definitely. And there's a bar on site as well if you fancy a nice beer in the evening, and there's an outside play area. There is actually quite a lot to do in the ranch itself, so that is definitely well worth looking at. Now, the Santa Fe, that's where I stayed last time when I went with my friend. It's set on Route 66. The rooms are in the style of the film Cars. I love this hotel. It may be one of the lower end budget-wise. I love this hotel. I love the colours they use in the room, the reds and the yellows and the oranges. I find it really cosy, really comfy. Beds have always been really comfy there. Could do with another pillow. In fact, now, me and my oldest daughter, we do take an extra pillow with us. There is a buffet restaurant there. There's actually a Costa on site there. There is a bar, shop, you know, it's all there. It's really nice. We walk into the park. You can get a shuttle bus into the park. I actually like the walk anyway. The Cheyenne, I think that's how you say it. This is set in the Wild West, and the rooms are in the style of Woody. Now, I stayed there 4 years ago. It's a nice hotel, but I found it very dated. It wasn't as comfy and cosy as, say, the Santa Fe. I know since then, I think all the rooms have had a little refurb and that, so they may be completely different. This is just when I went. It was nice, but not as comfy, should we say. And again, you've got your restaurant, you've got your shop, you've got your bar. It's nice, yeah. It's still a very nice hotel, but I do prefer the Santa Fe. And the other one I've stayed at is the Sequoia Lodge. This is just beautiful. It really is. I love this hotel. It is nearer to the park than the other two. I've always stayed in the main hotel area above the reception area, but there are lodges outside, which my cousin, she stayed in them, and she said they are just beautiful as well. Again, you've got a couple of restaurants in this one. You've got an outside pool. I believe there's a spa there, but I've never used it. I could have that wrong, but I think there is. You've got the bar, the restaurants. It's a lovely hotel. If you're going at Christmas, this is just ideal because it actually has an all year round Christmas theme with Christmas trees, the lights. It's just stunning. It's a beautiful hotel. Again, you can get a bus in, but it really isn't worth it. It's right next to Lake Mickey and Disney Village. It's just minutes walk. I don't know if you can get a bus. I'm pretty sure you can, but I don't know why you would, because it is so close. The buses themselves, they can get really, really busy as well, especially in the evening. If you go to see a beautiful fireworks display, don't even bother trying to get a bus back. Just walk. It's just, no matter which hotel you're at, just walk, because the buses, it's just manic. It's crazy. Right, hotel tickets. All the years we've been, we used to each get a little cardboard ticket. Then if you had meal vouchers, you would get a sheet of meal vouchers. You tear them off. Then you would get your magic pass ticket to get you in early, and then you would have a fast pass ticket, and you had to keep hold of all these different tickets. Now they've put everything on a little plastic one. It gets you in your room, it does your lights, it's got your meals, it gets you into the park. It's literally everything on one, and you get one each. So much easier. In the hotels, there you will find that there are vending machines dotted around. It's normally on the ground floor. Again, could be wrong, but I've always found them on the ground floor. If you take your room key and put it, I don't know if you put it in, or I think it's a touch screen one, your room key, that is, you get a free hot drink of an evening. It could be tea, coffee, hot chocolate. So we were getting hot chocolates before the girls went to bed. I didn't actually realise you could do that. Somebody told me, but you can have that for every night of your stay, which is a nice little perk. Okay, the number 6, the restaurants. I've always bought meal vouchers. Every time I've been, I bought meal vouchers. I've had full board and half board. I have found the full board, there's quite a difference in how much they cost. And we would have breakfast, then we would go and have a meal for lunch somewhere. Come the evening, the girls were just being, oh, I'm not hungry, I don't want that, I don't want that. I think it was just too much food in one day for them. So the next time we tried the half board, and we've made sandwiches, we have gone to the quick service restaurants. There's a place they like, Casey's Corner, where they can get hot dogs. I think they're about €8. So we've done that ever since now. We just sort out our own lunches, and we have our breakfast and the meal in the evening. Where we've been quite a lot, we have tried, I think, nearly all the restaurants. Not all of them, but nearly all of them. So we know which are our favourites, which ones we like to go to. So now, after this many years, we do actually just stick to the ones we know. I must say, I really like Chez Remy, and that's one of the new ones. I love it in there. I love everything about it. So that's good. If you haven't tried that one, try Chez Remy. I have noticed a lot of the dearer ones, and they do like character meals in there, like the auberge. My children don't like the food. It's not very, the ones with the set menus don't seem to be very child orientated. And mine much prefer the buffet menus, because there is so much to choose from, rather than just set menus, especially if you've got picky children. Honestly, it's really difficult, because there isn't a massive choice with the set menus. So picky children, go to a buffet restaurant. The Plaza Gardens is lovely. We love going in there. I would also 1,000,000,000% suggest book your restaurants. The first time I went, I did not know you could do this, and we walked around for ages trying to find anywhere that had a table. It was so frustrating. But you can book your restaurants. There is a number on Magic Break's website, there is a number on Disneyland Paris website where you can call in, book your restaurants. I think it's 60 days before the last day of your holiday. Call in, book your restaurants, then it's just one less thing that you have to worry about at the time. Definitely book your restaurants, because they just get packed, hugely packed. And if you go on Magic Breaks in Disneyland Paris, you can actually click on to that particular restaurant and you can see the menu and prices as well. So you can see whether your child would eat that or whether you yourself would want to eat what is on that menu. So that's really handy to know. Okay, number 7, the magic hours. If you get magic hours pass on your ticket, you can get into the park before the day ticket people get in, which I strongly suggest you do. There isn't much open ride-wise. You don't really get like many of the large rides open. You get most of Fantasyland is open. You get a couple of bits in Discoveryland, but just to get through that ticket process, because sometimes I've walked in there in sort of the last 20 minutes and the day ticket queue is just horrendous. I don't want to get caught in that. I think you can bypass it, but it's just so much worth it taking advantage of this and actually getting in there. Even if you go in there and have your breakfast in there, it's well worth just going in and being in there. Then at least when the rides do open, at whatever time, I think it's 10, is it 10 o'clock, something like that, you're sort of in there to go and queue. So you still get there a bit quicker than everybody else. Which leads me to this one, number 8, apps. You can get apps on your phone that show wait time for rides. They show if the ride's broken down, if it's even open. They also show sort of where toilets are, what baby changing facilities are. It's definitely worth getting an app on your phone for this, because some of the rides are quite a long walk between. You don't want to get there and it's like an hour and a half wait, which happens a lot. With the rides, number 9, with the rides, some of the busier rides you can wait an hour and a half, and again with children it can be very frustrating sitting there, or standing there rather, especially if it's hot, in the heat, where they're moaning, I don't want to stand here but I want to go on the ride. So I have worked out a better way of getting on the rides. Where they have parades, they do them sort of Main Street and in the studios, get a program, find out when the parade's on. If you've seen the parade, it's going to be the same one later on, unless stated otherwise. About half an hour before the parade begins, people will start sort of lining up along Main Street or wherever the parade is. Head over to the ride. Then you've got that little bit of time where a lot of people are waiting for a parade. I think probably the morning one more so as well. And then go and queue for your ride. I mean, I've done it before and I've actually walked on rides where there's just nobody there, where they're all waiting for the parade. So that is one little tip. Next, the fireworks. It used to be called Disney Dreams. Then they've changed it to Illuminations. I don't mind what they want to call it. I believe it is the best thing about going to Disneyland. I get very emotional. I feel like I'm 5 years old again. It's just, even as I say, I've been with my dad and my uncle. They've both sat there and just been, wow, that was amazing. So if you go to Disneyland Paris, just go and see them. Go and see it. It's just, oh wow. The only problem is, as you can imagine, it's busy. Some people, I've seen people queuing 2 hours before it starts, just hovering around the castle just to get that spot in the front, which I'll admit I have done. I've done this. I brought a picnic blanket. I have sat on the floor and I have waited to get that perfect spot. And then some 7-foot man who doesn't have children will come and stand right in front of you. And however nicely you say, excuse me, do you mind sitting down? Because they don't have to sit down. It's nice. It used to be like a polite way, you know, people sit down, oh, we'll sit behind them, we'll sit behind them. At least people at the back can see. But no, you'll always get someone who'll stand in front of your smallest child and refuse to move. In fact, quite rude, some of them. My daughter's been kicked in the back. She's been elbowed. You know, they're kids. They want to see it. I know you want to see it too, but come on, they're children. So the last few times we have opted to see it from a different angle. There is a spot at the entrance of Frontierland that you can get quite a good view. You can. But my favourite place is outside the Plaza Gardens. You can't see as well as if you was right in the front. Of course you can't. But it's not as busy. You're not getting pushed and what have you. So we stand over there. There's like a little plant area. You're not allowed to go in it, by the way. We've been told you're not that. Do not ever go in the plants. But the girls can stand there, and there's a little, I don't know what you'd call it actually, like a little statue thing, and I put my little one on the wall and I stand there and hold her. And they can see without being pushed over. In fact, I'm going to put a little insert into the view from that spot. You know, there's also, when one time I was sitting down the front, we could hear this little boy and he was going, "Mummy, I can't see, I can't see." And we actually said to the mum, "Can he come and sit with us? You know, we're right at the front, let him come and sit with us." You know, so you just do what you have to do. I don't understand why fully grown adults have to push their way to the front. I've seen adults pushing children out the way at rides, and it does me, absolutely does me. Also with the illuminations, be aware, the further towards the front you are, when that show has finished, you're going to turn around and you've got to leave. So if you're right at the front, on the way out you're right at the back, and boy do they push then to try and get out. It is horrendous. If you have a pushchair, take your child out of that pushchair. I've had adults falling on my pushchair where they don't care. They're kicking the wheels, and it's quite scary for little ones, because we're talking, I don't even know how many people, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people all pushing to get at that exit. Take the child out the pushchair, just carry them. Or do what I do, wait. Just keep standing there until it slowly filters away, and then you can just walk through a lot easier. Whatever you do, do not let go of that child's hand. Harriet is just one of those children, she hates holding hands, and I really have to hold on to her because you can't see for people. It's just a sea of people. So if you have a wanderer, hold them at that point, because that could be quite scary. Okay, where are we? Number 11, shopping. Brilliant this is. If you do any shopping before 3 o'clock, you fill out a little form and they will send all your shopping to your hotel, so you don't have to carry it around. Which for me, that is great, because I always say to myself, right, I won't buy anything till the last day. I'll do my shopping in the evening. Never happens. I say, oh, want that, and I buy it. They also don't have bags anymore, like everywhere else. They sell reusable bags in 3 different sizes. I can't remember the prices. They're less than €5, whatever. So you can buy reusable bags. So be aware you will have to buy a bag, or bring your own. Not that you want to carry a load of carry bags around Disneyland in case you buy something. Yeah, if you get it sent back, it goes to your hotel gift shop. I think it's after 8 o'clock, and then you can go and pick it up. Just don't do it on your last day, or you're not going to be there. Right, number 12, the quick service restaurants. If you choose to go here for lunch, say, if you leave it till lunchtime, you will queue forever. It's just, everywhere you go in Disney is queues. You have to accept that. That's just it. But if you can learn just to bypass them, only very slightly, it does help. If I'm going for lunch, say, my favourite place for lunch is Toad Hall, where they do the best fish and chips ever. We'll go at about 11:45, because there is nothing worse than hangry children in a queue. Terrible, not good. Number 13, water fountains. If you buy drinks constantly in the park, you are going to be spending money, trust me, especially if you have a couple of children. There are water fountains. They are situated outside the toilet blocks. Not all of them, some of them. Now what I've noticed, because I thought, oh yeah, water fountain, I'm going to bring the girls water bottles, save a ton of money. You can't get the bottle under the tap because the bowl is just there. Very small water bottles you can, but then I realised you can buy water bottles, but the bag ones with just the mouthpiece, perfect. Get them, fill the water bottles up. One of my children, she doesn't really like water, she doesn't like drinking it at all. So, in the supermarket you can buy, they're about this big. I should have gone and got one to show you actually. It's double concentrated juice and they're tiny, fit in the pocket. Just carry that. When they're moan, I don't want water, have a squeeze. Simple as, that's covered too. Okay, number 14, bags. Now, I've done this very wrong. I've taken a backpack, I've taken a crossbody bag, so I've got my purse there, you know, don't want to lose it. You've got to put these bags on your lap or between your legs, between your feet when you go on a ride. If you bring a giant backpack, it's going to be really uncomfortable if it'll even fit. So try not to bring too big a bag. Just a small rucksack if you can. Okay, number 15. I have got menus here, but I have already brought that up. The menus are outside most of the restaurants anyway, so you can have a look before you go in. But do actually go online, have a look, and then you can kind of budget how much money you can set aside for those lunches if you don't have the meal vouchers. So that is really handy to be able to go online and do that. This one, this made me giggle. Number 16, selfie sticks. Now, we all know you can't use selfie sticks on rides. There's signs, no selfie sticks, no leaning over the side, no hands over the side. That's a given, 100%. You're not going to have an extended selfie stick on a ride. It's obvious. But I had my selfie stick and I was vlogging around the park. So it wasn't extended. I had it in my hand, so my phone was kind of just there. And someone that worked there come over to me and he said, "You do know I can take this off you." So I said, "Why?" He said, "You're not allowed selfie sticks in the park." I said, "I thought it was on the rides." He went, "No, they're not allowed in the park." So I said, "Why? Why can I not have it? I'm not obstructing anybody, I'm not causing any problems." He said, "It's just not allowed." I think that's a bit daft. It wasn't even extended. I was literally just holding the handle bit because it's easier than trying to hold your phone or hold a camera or whatever. I did actually carry on using it though, I will admit. But just so you know, you might get approached if you have a selfie stick. I was quite shocked actually, but I did use it. Right, the next one, number 17, a lanyard. I get made fun of because of my lanyard every year. Everybody laughs at me and everyone takes the pee and they call me a geek. But you know what? I laugh when I'm in there because I have my now one ticket on my lanyard around my neck at all times. So if I want to go from one part to the other, you know, we go around, little queue, you know, I take out my card and I just go ding, in, done. And then you see them taking their purse out of their bag, unzipping their purse, going through, oh yeah, there's the ticket. Then they ting it, then they have to put it all away. They are holding everybody up. I'm already in there, off on my way. I love my lanyard. I have a whole selection of lanyards. You can buy them in the park for about €10. You can go on eBay and buy them for like £2-3. I suggest you get one. It's so much easier. Get yourself a lanyard. Be a geek. You can get some really nice ones in the park actually. They're really, really nice quality. And a little plastic. You don't always get the little plastic things. You have to buy them separately. Definitely get one. Put your ticket in. Sorted. No faffing about. And I have lanyards for my children. I don't let them take their tickets, because if they lose them, that is it. But I do put in a piece of paper. It has my name, my telephone number, and what hotel I'm staying at. Not my room, clearly, but the hotel I'm staying at. Because if one of the girls ever got lost, they can just go up to someone that works there, give them their lanyard, ring mummy. So that is a really good tip to have. Not that, you know, my children just run off constantly, but there are times, aren't there, we all know as parents, you can turn away for 1 second and, oh my God, where are they? It's a really good tip. Just put your number on the child. Okay, number 18, autograph books. A must have for the meet and greets, definitely. We have one every year. Sometimes they take the same one when they don't fill them up. Make sure you have a pen with you. Even if the character has huge hands, they have a little stamper to say that you've seen them. You can buy them in the park. I think they start around €10. Pens start around €4 and up. Or just bring one with you. Get it before you go. Bring it with you. Because you have to get the autographs, don't you? That's what you're there for. See Mickey Mouse. Okay, number 19, shoes. Believe me when I say, do not ever buy a new pair of shoes to go to Disney. It's not worth it. You will be in agony. Wear the most worn, comfortable pair. You know that pair of trainers that when you put them on, you've got slippers on. You just feel like, oh my God, they're my slippers. Wear them ones. Even if they're not that attractive or they don't go with everything, wear them ones. I have had blisters in that park as big as my foot. And don't even bother with just a pack of plasters. Go and get proper blister plasters. I think Morrison's do some, and they are really, really good. They're really large. But you cannot afford for your feet to hurt while you are there, because you've got to go again the next day. Definitely comfortable shoes. And the last thing is only a very small thing, but it's just handy to know. There are cash points in the park. They're dotted around. They're also Disney Village, and there is one in the train station next to Disney Village. You probably won't ever need one, but sometimes it's good to check your balance if you've been shopping. That's definitely a good one. I tend to overspend a little bit while I'm there. But that is it. That is all my little tips and tricks and all the bits I've picked up. If you know any more, leave them down below. Tell me, because you might come up with things that I don't know, and I'm going in May, so any other tips would be perfect. I hope I've been able to help you and give you a couple of ideas for when you go, especially if you've not been before. The first time I went, it was like, oh wow, I don't know how to do this. It is definitely a learning curve. Every time you go, you do it better. But anyway, if you do go, if you are planning to go, or if you've got one coming up, I hope you have tons of fun. I hope these tips have helped you, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.